Hello, my name is Rachel Hudgens, and I will be presenting on future scenario planning for the Slow Food chapter in Phoenix. My client asked me to look into what the consumer demand for local greener foods will be like in 2055. Trends are important to look at when assessing future scenarios because they help us to gauge what the future has in store for us. For this question, I decided to look at the popularity of local farming, what infrastructural changes have been made in the built environment over the years, and how climate disruption will affect local food production. So the two drivers that I really decided to look into are the abundance of local food options and how prevalent food deserts are within the Phoenix area community. I decided to not look into climate disruption as much because it's very uncertain at this point. In scenario 1, I would if I could. Citizens want to consume healthy local food options. The only issue is, though, that infrastructure is not adapted adequately to promote the abundance of farmers markets and local food vendors. In the future, Slow Food should focus on community engagement because the community already has a desire to consume these local foods. The only issue is, though, securing these food sources from around the community. And if Slow Foods is able to do that, they would definitely be a major part of the community. In scenario 2, convenience stores, consumers do not prefer local food options over typical processed foods that they could find in a store. This is because infrastructure has not changed, so consumers have to put in more effort in order to find the local food options, which then at that point does not make them desirable. The issue that Slow Food would run into in this scenario is that they would also most likely have a difficult time securing the local food and making it available to members or potential members. They would really have to expand their educational efforts to make local food more desirable to citizens. In scenario 3, ignorance. Consumers do not prefer local food because they lack the understanding of why consuming local food is culturally important, and they also don't have the knowledge of concepts such as food miles or environmental implications that are associated with buying store-bought food. The sad thing is, though, that infrastructure permits farmers markets to be viable options for food consumers. So looking to the future in this scenario, Slow Foods really has to connect farmers with potential consumers to create a bond, and hopefully they can also expand their educational programs to make consumers and local citizens understand why it is important to consume local food. In scenario 4, local and conscientious, consumers actually desire local, healthier food options. Additionally, there are virtually no food deserts, meaning local food vendors and farmers markets are abundant in this community. So things that Slow Food needs to take into account in this future, they really have to find their own niche in the community, otherwise they won't be seen as a necessity because consumers already look out for farmers markets, and more often than not they already know where they want to buy their food. Additionally, if Slow Foods is able to find their niche within the community, they may have to branch out into smaller chapters because of all of the demand. Ultimately, when looking to the future, consumer demand for local food relies heavily on the availability of the food and the importance of the food to the consumer. Thank you.